This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends. What's happening? This is Kaplan and Crew. We are coming to you from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com, along with Grande and the Brown Man, just getting onto the airwaves of 1090, broadcasting and blasting on the radio throughout Southern California, just getting onto the stream of YouTube, going worldwide. We're on every audio podcast platform that you would expect. And tonight we'll be on television. Channel 4 San Diego's our home base, part of the Cox View Network. And you can get us in LA, Orange County, Santa Barbara, all tonight at 7 o'clock on Cox or Spectrum Cable. Grande, Brown Man, today is Wednesday. It is January 11th. As we start to look ahead towards the NFL wild card weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, today's kind of when it all really gets started, when news is starting to break. And I think probably the biggest story, at least from earlier in the day as we get ready for these playoffs, is, Alex, you've been saying all week, you think Tua's going to play for Miami against Buffalo. And today, according to the Dolphins, he's been ruled out. Dolphins are going into the postseason in Buffalo, just crawling, scratching their way into the postseason, barely, with a third-string quarterback. So Tua not playing. And I mean, that's one of the big storylines going into this weekend, because I don't think the Dolphins had any chance with Tua. And now I know they're toast, at least in this first round. Surprised by that news?
I'm not so okay. So I want to clarify: if he cleared concussion protocol, he would play.
Mm-hmm.
He did not clear, and I don't know who gets the credit there. I don't know if that's the Dolphins doctors or just the NFL stepping in and be like, "Yo, we can't have this guy be playing." Because if you clear the guy, I think Tua works his way in. So glad he was not cleared. Say that out loud.
Yeah,
but I disagree with you that they don't have a chance if Tua was healthy.
If
Tua was healthy and he was the starter, I think the Dolphins are a significantly better team than what they've showed the last 4 or 5 weeks.
No question.
I mean,
I think the Bills are going to win. It's a division game. It's in Buffalo. There's weather to deal with, even though Miami played them pretty tough last time they were there.
That's literally why I think it was snowing and they were getting snowballs thrown at them by Bills Mafia. And it was right. They went down to the wire. I think the Dolphins are a lot better than perception because of what happened
at the end of the year.
Season.
Yeah, man. What they lose 4 in a row, and I think they were in that game against the Jets. And while the Jets were playing the Dolphins and the Steelers were playing the Browns and the Bills were playing the Patriots, this was all happening this past Sunday. It was like if the Bills win and the Dolphins win, then the Dolphins are in. But if the Bills lose and the Dolphins win, then the Patriots are in. And if the Patriots lose and the Dolphins lose and the Steelers win, I mean, it was craziness what was going on Sunday. But with Tua not playing for all these weeks, I didn't give much of a chance going up to Buffalo, frankly. And then, Alex, don't forget all the emotion on the Buffalo side now, as the story from earlier in the day, Damar Hamlin now released. I mean, that guy is going home. That guy has gone from dead on a football field to sending love to his teammates all within a week. And now here we are 10 days later, and my man walked out of that hospital. So, all right, Browner, what do you think, man? Lamar Jackson, you've been saying all along you don't think he's going to play because this is his protest of sorts. Looks like Lamar Jackson might miss this game for Baltimore against Cincinnati.
One guy not hurt, one guy actually hurt and shouldn't be playing. Like I said from the beginning, Tua shouldn't be playing. They didn't clear him because he shouldn't be playing. After what happened to Damar Hamlin, the last thing you can have is Tua back on the field throwing up West Side, because he don't know where he at, what day of the week it is, and if he even playing football. Lamar Jackson ain't playing until they pay him. The problem is they're not going to pay him. Now I say somebody's going to give him what he wants, because somebody always breaks. That's just how it works. It's business. Someone wants their business to get ahead of somebody else's business, in a business where 32 people are competing in the same field. The Ravens just gave Roquan Smith the highest contract ever for a middle linebacker. $20 million a year for a middle linebacker who, by the way, is negotiating for himself, the same thing Lamar Jackson is doing. But for some reason, They gave him the largest deal ever, but they're holding Lamar Jackson to the fire for some reason. So I think
Because
that
he showed
is
up.
over, man.
Because he showed up to work and he
yeah.
made their defense go from 30th to 2nd since he
And
showed up in Baltimore.
And wait, throw on one other thing on top of it. It's a 5-year, $100 million contract. How much of it is guaranteed? About 62
60.
million.
60.
Yeah. Yeah. So if Lamar Jackson would
Chump
take a
change.
deal, like, for example, like the same deal that the quarterback in Arizona has, Kyler Murray,
He better than him.
all I'm saying is that if he took a big deal, 200 plus million, and 185 million of it was guaranteed, you know what the guaranteed is versus what the upside is. And if Lamar Jackson, here's his problem. If he's not playing because this is his own form of protest, he's now a guy that's a very selfish player. That's number one. Number two, if he's not playing because he's hurt, his value is going down because of the style that he plays. He can't stay healthy. I think Lamar Jackson is hurting himself.
I disagree with that. I think his value to that particular team that he's on is being shown by him not being there. Like, if you watch the other two guys play who play a similar style, it's nothing like the person who was supposed to be running that offense. So if you're the Ravens, he is most valuable to you only right now because you've catered everything to him. And so therefore, if he removes himself from the equation, look how bad we look. Look how great we were when I was in there. I came out. I pulled myself out because I'm quote unquote hurt. Now look how bad we look since I've left. So
well,
2
but
years
on the
in a
other
row.
hand, Cleveland gave Deshaun Watson a guaranteed contract, and I grant you it was only 6 games at the end of the year, but he didn't look like the same guy that he was 2 years ago in Houston. Now it could be rust.
That's different. Yeah,
All I'm saying is that when everybody else looks around the league, like, why do I want to give this guy a fully guaranteed contract? There's only one of these in the NFL right now, and that's Deshaun Watson. I guess you could possibly throw Kirk Cousins in there, but it's not as long term and it's not as much money.
But you're asking, but look at what Lamar Jackson has done in this league in a short span of time. If you're him, why would you risk going forward without the reward of what you've already given the Ravens? Like, this is his first big contract. The rookie deal was he was the last pick in the first round? So he didn't get number 1 pick money, but he's been the best quarterback from that draft. So why would I, if I'm him, risk myself if y'all don't want to reward me for what I've already given y'all? Like, how does that make any sense? Without me, look what we are.
Yeah.
I think Browner is right and wrong. I think that someone is going to give him what he wants.
Yes.
I don't think it'll be Deshaun Watson money, but somebody will give him what he wants. But I also think that this is kind of where not having representation hurts you because he's getting bad advice. This doesn't look good. It just looks bad.
Well,
like
especially if
the guy is healthy. The guy
Yeah.
is healthy. The guy can play. From all reports, the guy can play. And it's the playoffs, and he's holding their feet over the fire. And I just think you're going to get your money. Whether it be Baltimore, whether it be wherever, you're going to get your money. I don't know if this is the right way to do it. And if I'm also Lamar Jackson's representatives, whoever that is,
the man
you got to tell the guy,
his
listen,
mom,
this isn't you coming off your MVP year. This is you coming off back-to-back years where you missed 5 games. Like, you're not at the top of the top where you're. And I know, listen, everyone's going to throw Deshaun Watson. The dude was in court for 12 months. I get it. But what I'm saying is Lamar hasn't looked really like the MVP Lamar for the past 2 seasons. He's been good, been very good, but he just hasn't. He's not at the top where he was 3 years ago.
Listen, all I want to say is this. I'm not even going to believe it. Like, Browner, I know you have your theory, and maybe you're not the only one who has it, that he's choosing not to play because he don't want to get hurt. If that's who he is, I swear to you, man, I don't want that guy as my quarterback on my team.
I mean, I agree.
Somebody
with you.
will
I
do
think
it.
It's a very bad look. I think this is a very bad look for him to not play if he can play. And like we've said by reports, it looks like he can play.
What is his injury listed as? What is he listed
as? Like a PCL sprain, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Something that you can't
listen,
really.
I think the NFL has proven that if you're good enough, it don't really matter. You're gonna get a shot. Tyreek Hill, the most paid wide receiver, and he beat his child. Deshaun Watson in court for 18 months, most paid player in the NFL. Oh, by the way, Cleveland also took Kareem Hunt after kicking a woman on video. So, like, if you're good enough, you're going to get your money. And I don't think Scott saying, oh, I don't want this guy as my quarterback, people want that guy as his quarterback.
Yeah.
Jim
Well,
Irsay will pay him every penny of what he's asking for. Every
okay.
penny.
I'm going to say this right now. I'm still holding on to my position. He is not getting a fully guaranteed Deshaun Watson-esque contract.
Okay.
That's a different. Okay, but let me go back to like what you just said. I don't want that guy as my quarterback. Let me ask you this question. Maybe they don't even coincide, but in my head, this is what popped up. Would you rather have goody tootie Russell Wilson as your quarterback or Lamar Jackson next year as your quarterback?
For me, I'll take Russ because here's the one thing I know about Russell Wilson.
No, you wouldn't.
No, I would. Listen, I like corny Russ. I like corny Russ.
I saw you thinking, and you're like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna lie."
Well,
I'm
here's
just gonna
why.
lie right now.
Here's why. Because your answer, you thought my answer would be Lamar because he's the better, younger player. Okay, and here's the one thing about Russell Wilson. Corny ass mofo, we get it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The Danger Witch sandwich was so corny that Subway took it down during the year because they were like, we're getting too much negative feedback here. I mean, this is ridiculous. But I will say one thing about Russell Wilson.
There's not enough room in our online menu.
One thing
I can't
about
believe they said that.
Did you guys? I don't know if you guys were watching the Broncos and the Chargers this past weekend. Russ can still sling it. You know, seriously. Did you see the play? Because you see, you're a red zone guy. You're not actually really watching the games. I'm watching the games. Okay. I'm actually watching the games. All I'm saying is if you were watching the game, Russell Wilson is rolling to his left full speed, twists his body, and whips the ball deep downfield for a completion. And you go, Russ can still play. Now, Browner, I just want to say, and Alex, to answer your question, if what Browner is saying is right about Lamar, that he's not playing as a form of protest, I'll take Russ. If Browner's wrong and Lamar's injured, then I'll take Lamar.
Listen, man, I will tell you right now, the Houston Texans will pay him all that money. The Colts will pay him all that money guaranteed. And the Panthers will pay him all that money guaranteed. So
how you know?
But what is all that money? Like when you say that,
the Deshaun Watson level money. I want to be very clear. He wants a penny more than whatever Deshaun Watson got. The Houston Texans are quarterback starved. They need a face of that franchise, and the way that they're going probably should be black. The Indianapolis Colts general manager just said they will move heaven and earth to get the quarterback that they need to go forward.
Well, Derek Carr, he'll be there.
The Carolina Panthers are in disarray. They're getting a new coach. Their owner is roughly a new owner and a mad rich dude. Money is irrelevant to certain people. They want a star. They want a face. Lamar Jackson is that face. Lamar Jackson has never been in trouble off the field. Lamar Jackson, when he does play, balls out. So if you're looking at the ups and downs, give me him over Russell Wilson every time because he just wants his money. He just wants his money. Again.
So once again, I agree and disagree with you. I agree that someone will give him the money. I disagree that it's going to be 250.0000001
guaranteed.
Guaranteed. Every penny guaranteed.
I agree with Scott on that. I think NFL owners will never do that again.
Okay.
I think NFL owners are so pissed.
But they're also so competitive.
At the Cleveland Browns.
Like,
no, but dude,
like
listen.
The name's got to be, and I'm not. The name has got to be Patrick Mahomes for that to happen again.
Okay.
I don't even think Josh Allen gets that. I don't think Joe Burrow gets that.
But why?
I don't think.
I mean, why does anybody need to listen? Why does
if
any
Lamar
NFL
Jackson
owner
gets that?
Yeah.
Justin Herbert's going to get that, and that's not happening.
But listen,
they got the money. So.
If you're an NFL owner, why would you ever give anybody a fully guaranteed contract, especially a quarterback, especially a running quarterback who's injury prone? When Russell Wilson, the Denver Broncos may not be happy with the contract they gave him, but let's just play with numbers. If it was a $250 million contract, call it 160 some odd million of it was guaranteed. Kyler Murray, same deal, $225 million contract, 160 some odd million guaranteed. You just brought up the linebacker, Roquan Smith, $100 million contract, 60 some odd million guaranteed. If that's the way the league works, here's what it could be, and here's what you're guaranteed. Why do I have to give somebody a fully guaranteed contract? This isn't baseball.
In the face of all the odds, Deshaun Watson got a fully guaranteed contract
from a desperate franchise. Now, your point about Houston or Indianapolis is that those franchises could be desperate. Yeah.
Desperate.
But
all you need
but
is
They
one.
might be, and those two owners, and I'm not going to call them racist, but I am going to say those two owners, I don't think would give Lamar Jackson that kind of money.
We'll find out.
From all signs in history, I don't think
We'll-
those are the two guys that are going to, the McNair family and the Irsay, I don't think that's really they're going to hand out that amount of money. And Deshaun got 230 guaranteed at signing.
Okay.
That's you know what number 2 is?
Maybe like Aaron Rodgers kind of money, or tell me who's number 2
At practical guaranteed money.
Okay, hold on, wait. I'll take Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray,
Yeah.
189.5. That's a big drop off.
So yeah,
That's
30 some odd million.
$40 million.
I will present to you again. You show me
And
somebody.
Kyler proved you shouldn't have given him that.
Well,
Russell
that's just
Wilson
it.
proved you shouldn't have
the
given
same.
him that.
And not the same. If
Aaron
you-
Rodgers proved maybe you shouldn't have given him that.
Okay,
The top
Aaron
four guys.
Aaron
The top 4
Rodgers.
guaranteed guys are kind of fighting against Lamar Jackson.
Aaron Rodgers is older, but should have got that money just for multiple reasons. Kyler Murray, no, Lamar Jackson is better. Russell Wilson, no, Lamar Jackson is better. Always been. Look at the statistic that Lamar Jackson has built.
Beep up,
He has
beep up, boop up,
Lamar
beep, boop.
Jackson.
Nerd.
Lamar
What's his
Jackson-
slash line? What's his
Nerd
slash line?
Lamar Jackson has every reason to be asking what he's asking for, because up until this point in his career, no one's done what he's done.
Dude, ask for it. Ask for as much as you can get. I'm just telling you that there are 31 other NFL owners, and my bet would be
One will break.
If you said to me, bet on this, will Lamar Jackson get a guaranteed contract? Bet yes over here, bet no over there. I'll bet no.
Okay, I'll bet yes, because somebody will break. Someone will break.
Now, it's just, by the way, all of this is interesting because I don't know how we all got onto this other than
who has
Tua's
money
injury.
for it? The Bears have money for it.
Come on, man. What do you?
Yeah, maybe
we already we got a
Bears should
younger
get
version
Lamar.
of him already.
No, maybe the Bears should get Lamar.
Wow, we already got him.
And then, well, no, they could trade away your man.
We already got Lamar Jackson. We already got him. A better throwing version.
You have a better
on a per game
throwing version.
On a per game basis.
Mm-hmm.
I'll read you Lamar and I'll read you Kyler. How about that?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
On average. Because if you took the career as a whole, obviously Lamar Jackson has one of the best quarterback records out there. But on a per game statistical, since Browner brought up stats, the nerd from a stat per game average, completion, yards passing per game. Lamar Jackson 174, Kyler 242. Touchdowns per game. Lamar 1.4, Kyler 1.5. Rushing yards per game. 63 for Lamar, 38 for Kyler, 0.3 touchdown for Lamar, 0.4 Kyler Murray. It's not that much better.
You can't do averages though, because Lamar Jackson's played more games.
Well,
so the average tends to favor Kyler Murray because he's played less. But I understand what you're saying. You're drawing a comparison between the two. Yeah, I get that.
Kyler Murray. Okay, now there's a rumor out there, and I say rumor, that the next head coach of the Arizona Cardinals.
Kyler's only played 5 less games, by the way.
How about that?
Nevertheless.
Yeah, but come on, Browner. 5 is not the number you thought.
It's not going to break the average.
20.
I mean, I thought it was 15, but 5 is good enough for me. I can roll with that.
But
it's actually 4 because Kyler did tie a game, so 4 less games. Sorry, Scott.
But Arizona now, Kyler Murray, talking about him for a second. There's a pretty hot rumor out there that Sean Payton, who everybody talked about all year long, he's going to be the next head coach of the Chargers. Now there's a pretty hot rumor out there that Sean Payton, and I didn't know anything about this. I've only read a little tiny bit about it, but has like ties to the Bidwell family from way, way, way back when he was just a ball boy growing up. That Sean Payton is now like the hot coaching candidate for the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay, that's good. That's good. But y'all, listen, y'all love Sean Payton.
No, actually, I'll be honest with you.
Pass.
I'll tell you right now. Just like Bill Belichick was a 6-time Super Bowl champion quarterback when he had Tom Brady, or a 6-time Super Bowl winning coach when he had Tom Brady, Sean Payton everybody thinks Sean Payton is this amazing, incredible, great coach.
Mm-hmm.
He had Drew Brees in the prime of his career.
Yep.
And they won 1 Super Bowl, and they had been back to a couple NFC title games. They even hosted and lost. They never got back to the Super Bowl. Sean Payton, for some reason, it's all about reputation.
Yep.
And I would say this. My guess is.
And visibility.
My guess is this. Sean Payton goes back to the NFL, and is nowhere near what he was in the prime of Breeze and the Saints.
I agree.
Especially with
Not
Arizona,
only
with that quarterback.
Are you have to give Sean Payton probably Deshaun Watson money as far as being the top paid coach in the NFL, but you also have to give up assets for him because he's contractually obligated to the Saints.
Right. Isn't it amazing, though, that you could go back and coach an NFL team, make $12, $13, $14 million a year, and still be paid less than Troy Aikman, who's analyzing the game? Why is that?
Well, there's only one of those people.
No. But they're all But every one of these like top level color commentator guys are making more than what the coaches are making.
TV
there's
money,
only
baby. Ain't no cap, ain't no TV cap.
There's only 4 networks with the NFL. I mean, there's 32 head coaches.
Yeah. Still crazy to me.
And you stay there long enough. You've been there since how long? Troy Aikman, you know what I mean? Like I know Romo, but you stay there long enough.
And 2, I would never trade for a coach. That's idiotic to me. I'm not.
All right, well, hold that thought. We're just getting rolling. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios, getting set for the first weekend of Wild Card playoff action. Stick around. This is Kaplan and Crew.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
Customer service is a priority for us. We are door and window dealers and specialists in a variety of different product lines. You're going to see 16,000 feet of the largest showroom in San Diego for doors and windows. We have a magnificent space here, much larger than any other dealer in the area, which makes it very comfortable for our customers to see and feel the windows in person. What you need to know about your project, we're going to ask questions about that. We're going to ask about your lifestyle, perhaps whether you have children or pets, which direction the doors and windows are facing. Do you have a view? Is it about opening space? We want to ask these questions to best service you and provide an overall great experience. People find these things beneficial because we can address perhaps threshold conditions, screen conditions, wall depths, colors, anything else that's important to the project prior to ordering, ensuring, again, complete satisfaction in the long run.
Give us a call or visit us online at PriorityDW.com.
When someone you know has COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, things can progress very quickly, making them feel hopeless. But it doesn't have to be like this.
See, Mom, this place is going to be great for you. They're going to help you breathe better.
Pulmonary rehabilitation at La Mesa Rehab focuses on patient education and training. We use special therapies to improve your lungs, clear out mucus, and keep you out of the hospital. Pulmonary Rehab is Medicare approved. Call now to see if you qualify or ask your doctor about La Mesa Rehab today.
What do you want, Anthony?
I'm in town for a big presentation. It's due after the end of the year. My computer got damaged.
What about the backup?
It was in our luggage and it got lost.
On New Year's? I thought you needed me, but apparently you're doing fine, so I...
Would crying have been any better?
Always the charmer.
Jess, I'm sorry about what happened.
It's midnight. Happy New Year's, my friends.
Yeah, super romantic.
Music helps connect everyone. This concert is an amazing opportunity. Mayor Bill Wells and Banding Together will be here, and it's a time for people to sit back, relax, dance, sing, and to have fun, and for all of us to get together. And it's going to be a great night.
What is it about Route 66 that will make a grown man saddle up on a rabbit? I have no idea.
Find out when Driven gets more kicks on Route 66. The road trip continues only on Your View.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Listen to The Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and themightier1090.com. We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the Mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
People often ask, when should I call a lawyer after a car crash? If you're injured, then you should call 911 and seek medical attention right away. Then, assuming the crash wasn't your fault, you should call a lawyer as soon as it's safe to do so. There are several reasons why. First, it ensures that your legal rights are being protected while you focus on your health. Second, getting an investigation started immediately can be vitally important, since the physical evidence at the crash scene, surveillance video, or witnesses may not be around for long. Third, unfortunately, insurance companies may not have your best interests in mind and may try to take advantage of the situation knowing that you are not yet represented. They may try to take recorded statements or make lowball offers. Put it this way, calling a lawyer is free. The cost of not doing so could be quite expensive.
At Shelter to Soldier, being a private nonprofit, we rely on the community. Thankfully, we have sponsors like the Barnes firm that get behind us.
We understand the difficulties that many of our veterans face when they come back into civilian life. And this program just seemed like the perfect fit.
Today we're catching up with Barney. He is now in our matching phase of our program. He is meeting eligible veterans in what we call speed dating.
How's it going?
So we have just recently approved 5 new veterans for our program. So Barney will be meeting every single one of them to see if he is the perfect match for them.
Barney's perfect date would be a nice long walk on the beach, and then he would like to end the night with a nice dinner with his veteran.
We got to find the right person for the right dog.
Most people never expect to get into a crash or trip over a hazard and fall, and they certainly don't expect that it could lead to life-altering injuries. Most of us assume it's just an ache. It'll go away. I'll be fine. And luckily, usually they are right. But unfortunately, some injuries aren't obvious, and the adrenaline of the incident may mask the seriousness of your condition. Plus, when the injury is due to someone else's negligence, then you will have to prove that your injuries are from that incident and not something else. So not only is it important for your health to get checked out to rule out that anything is serious or even potentially life-threatening, it's also important to document your injuries as closely to the event as possible in a medical record. Otherwise, the insurance company will try to use that gap in treatment as proof that your injury is not related to the incident.
Customer service is a priority for us. We are door and window dealers and specialists in a variety of different product lines. You're going to see 16,000 feet of the largest showroom in San Diego for doors and windows. We have a magnificent space here, much larger than any other dealer in the area, which makes it very comfortable for our customers to see and feel the windows in person. What you need to know about your project, we're going to ask questions about that. We're going to ask you about your lifestyle, perhaps whether you have children or pets, which direction the doors and windows are facing. Do you have a view? Is it about opening space? We want to ask these questions to best service you and provide an overall great experience. People find these things beneficial because we can address perhaps threshold conditions, screen conditions, wall depths, colors, anything else that's important to the project prior to ordering, ensuring, again, complete satisfaction in the long run.
Give us a call or visit us online at PriorityDW.com.
This is the #1 advice I give to my friends and family. Get the most UM, uninsured motorist, UIM, underinsured motorist coverage that you can. Here's what happens all the time. After a car crash, you have a ton of medical bills, you're out of work, and don't know what the long-term effects of what your injuries will be. Then you find out that the driver who caused the car crash only has $15,000 in insurance. And you say, good thing I'm fully insured. You have good liability, collision, med pay, but only $15,000 in UM/UIM. In that scenario, you and your family are not covered by your insurance at all, and you will be limited to only $15,000 in defendants available coverage. The premiums for UM and UIM are not expensive, so do yourself a favor, check what your UM/UIM policy amounts are, and make sure at a minimum they're the same as your liability coverage.
Music helps connect everyone. This concert is an amazing opportunity. Mayor Bill Wells and Banding Together will be here, and it's a time for people to sit back, relax, dance, sing, and to have fun, and for all of us to get together. And it's going to be a great night.
If you love animals, Animal Zone is for you. From rescues to animal experts, Animal Zone is fun for the whole family. Watch Animal Zone right here on your view, Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. and visit animalzone.org to learn more about the show.
Drivers are getting in accidents at a rate we've never seen before, jumping 18% since 2020. There are higher incidents of speeding and more aggressive driving since the pandemic began. Please slow down and drive safely. It can save a life.
At Shelter to Soldier, being a private nonprofit, we rely on the community. Thankfully, we have sponsors like the Barnes firm that get behind us.
We understand the difficulties that many of our veterans face when they come back into civilian life. And this program just seemed like the perfect fit.
Today we're catching up with Barney. He is now in our matching phase of our program. He is meeting eligible veterans in what we call speed dating.
How's it going?
So we have just recently approved 5 new veterans for our program. So Barney will be meeting every single one of them to see if he is the perfect match for them.
Barney's perfect date would be a nice long walk on the beach, and then he would like to end the night with a nice dinner with his veteran.
We got to find the right person for the right dog.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and YourView.com. Brought to you by La Mesa Rehab, improving the lives of those with all types of lung disease and long COVID symptoms.
Customer service is a priority for us. We are door and window dealers and specialists in a variety of different product lines. You're going to see 16,000 feet of the largest showroom in San Diego for doors and windows. We have a magnificent space here, much larger than any other dealer in the area, which makes it very comfortable for our customers to see and feel the windows in person. What you need to know about your project, we're going to ask questions about that. We're going to ask about your lifestyle, perhaps whether you have children or pets, which direction the doors and windows are facing. Do you have a view? Is it about opening space? We want to ask these questions to best service you and provide an overall great experience. People find these things beneficial because we can address perhaps threshold conditions, screen conditions, wall depths, colors, anything else that's important to the project prior to ordering, ensuring again complete satisfaction in the long run.
Give us a call or visit us online at PriorityDW.com.
At the Barnes firm, we're seeing more pedestrian and bicycle accidents. Drivers are rolling through red lights, and distracted driving makes every intersection a danger zone for pedestrians. Look both ways when crossing, even if you have the right of way.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
All right, great friends. Hey, it is Wednesday afternoon. It's Kaplan and Crew. It is January 11th. And hey, the rain is let up, at least for a little while. That's kind of good, right? I mean, just a couple days of relief would be nice. And then apparently we're going to get it all over again. But little bit drier today, even though kind of still grayish. Sun trying to break out at some points of the day. We said we were going to get to the Chargers and the Jaguars, and we will get there in a matter of moments, along with Grande and Brown Man, Kaplan and crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studios. And Grande, you say there's some Padres news we should discuss before we get to the Chargers.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it on this show, but the Padres Fan Fest is February 4th, so less than a month away, taking place at Petco Park from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Confirmed.
That's a Saturday. Okay, that's a Saturday. I was just
Saturday.
trying to do the math in my head, what day of the week that is.
Saturday,
Okay.
February 4th at Petco Park, 9 a.m. to 4
Browner,
p.m.
you seem impressed by that I pulled February 4th as a Saturday. You had this look like, how'd you know that?
Because you're usually the person with no idea what the date is.
Yeah.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
I know.
Maybe you have a calendar like right in front of you.
I don't.
Okay.
It's just that I know I have in my mind I have something on February 6th, which is a Monday. So I was able to do the math and go back 2 days.
That's
Okay.
normally Super Bowl weekend, but
you note that.
obviously a week later, that's Pro Bowl weekend. Which, by the way, they did announce what games are being played for Pro Bowl.
This is a much better idea, by the way, for the Pro Bowl. I love.
I didn't even read it, but I
Okay.
could pull it up. But
I'd like to hear it.
Padres Fan Fest
Mhm.
will have scheduled appearances confirmed by Manny Machado, Juan Soto, Xander Bogaerts, Joe Musgrove, Yu Darvish, Jake Cronenworth, Josh Hader, Nick Martinez, Robert Suarez, Tim Hill, Bob Melvin, and Fernando Tatis Jr.
Okay, because let me tell you something, man. I love the dramatic pause because you mentioned all the stars. You
Right.
mentioned Xander, who's the newest. You mentioned Juan, who got here last year. Manny, who's become everybody's favorite Padre. And you went through everybody, including the manager, and you had not yet gotten to Tatis.
Right. In the official press release, it is listed as at Petco Park from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., featuring scheduled appearances by Manny Machado, Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis Jr. I just did it for dramatic effect.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Did you happen to see any of our friend Jeff Newbarth from Callaway Golf? Did you happen to see any of his social media posts recently at all? And the reason I ask is because Jeff was putting out some posts that he, on behalf of Callaway, was doing something with Manny Machado. I don't know if Machado is becoming a Callaway spokesperson or if he's just becoming like a brand ambassador and they set him up with some sticks. I'm not really sure what they were doing. I tend to think that there's probably a deeper partnership between Callaway and the Padres, but it seemed like Jeff, who's a big fan, was really stoked to kind of show off to everybody, yo, we got Manny Machado up here at the Callaway headquarters, or at least that's where it seemed like they were.
Yeah, they
See
were
any of that?
there. I don't remember specifically what they were there for, but I think it was like a charity thing.
Oh, really?
Because Machado put it on his Instagram too. And I just don't,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I
Cool.
don't know what it's about though.
Gotcha.
So
All
yeah,
right, well,
that is a February 4th.
Okay. Well, I'm sure Padre fans this year will want to be down at that fan fest, and I would guess that spring training will be. I mean, I would think a lot of people would want to go swing by spring training. Like for me, I don't like spring training, and people hear me say that and like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Well, dude, the access that we had at spring training, like we were on the inside. You guys show up from San Diego, you guys are on the outside of the fence, just standing there watching. Like that looks horrible to me. Even what I'm doing, I don't love. But even this year, I must admit, and we've talked about this, going over to spring training for a weekend and catching a couple of Padres spring training games and doing a whole bunch of like YouTube videos and social media stuff. I could be down with that. Did we come up with a date? Didn't we sort of figure a date out?
For us to go to spring training?
Yeah.
Yeah, March 20 something.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
March 20 something sounds like, is it a weekend or maybe it was 20?
March 24th, 5th, 6th, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That sounds about right. Brown, are you down? You down to go to Arizona?
I gotta check my calendar.
Okay.
You a few segments ago talked about what you committed to never do again.
Mhm.
I myself have committed to do something I swore I would never do again.
Okay.
In March, early March. I have.
Let me guess.
Mhm.
Oh no.
Go
I
ahead.
was thinking maybe you were going to go to Vegas for the start of the NCAA basketball tournament or something.
Very, very close.
He already said he wants to do that.
I am driving to Las Vegas the March 8th or 9th or something like that.
Mhm.
Because me and the missus, we're gonna go watch cousin Nancy and her husband race in
Sweet.
Pahrump, Nevada.
Sweet.
And because
Pahrump?
Pahrump isn't like 45 minutes to an hour away from Vegas,
Mhm.
it just makes economical sense to just drive to Pahrump. It's a 5-hour drive instead of flying to Vegas, renting a car, doing all that jazz.
Yeah.
And
we're
then
gonna
driving
drive.
to Pahrump.
Right.
Dude, I got to tell you guys, maybe I'm on my own on this,
Pump.
but listen, going to Arizona for spring training, I'd much rather drive than fly. If I'm going to Mammoth, I will just say it is really nice and convenient to fly from Palomar Airport to right into Mammoth. But I don't mind the drive, the 6 or 7 hour drive. It doesn't bother me that much. Like I know a lot of people just cannot stand. And listen, it's way more convenient. Like when you leave Mammoth and you land in Carlsbad and it took an hour and you're home door to door from the time you left Mammoth to the time you came home and it's under 2 hours versus 6 or 7 hours in a car. I understand the convenience of it all, but I like having a car. So like if we go to Arizona for spring training, I want to drive over there and I want to have a car. I don't want to fly, land, rent, pay a fortune for a car, and then have to use their car. I'd rather have my own car. So the difference between if I left my house, went to the San Diego airport, flew to Phoenix, landed, got a rental car, and then got to wherever we're staying, call that entire process 3 hours, maybe 3.5 to 4. Driving from my house to wherever we're staying in Phoenix, 6 to 7 hours. I got no problem with it. Beautiful scenic drive through the desert. No problem.
I'm either way, man. As long as I have a car whenever I get where I'm going, I could care less.
I'd much rather drive to Phoenix than Vegas.
Why? It's the same.
There's no traffic.
Going to Phoenix.
Ever. Going to or back from Phoenix, there is no traffic.
True. That's true.
That's
well, there is traffic coming back from Arizona or coming back from Phoenix or from Vegas,
right.
rather.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. And a lot of times when you're coming back from Vegas, you're not in the best mental or physical well-being.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I was like, never again am I going to be in traffic for 9 hours. Never.
I've done it. I mean, I've done it where I've sat in a lot of traffic because I used to drive to Vegas all the time for soccer tournaments, for my daughter's soccer tournaments. And on the way back on Sundays, we would be leaving after games on Sunday. It wasn't like, hey, we had a Saturday night, we woke up, we took our time, we got in the car. No, man. Like we get up, hustle to a game, play a game, and then have to get back home. I mean, so I did it a lot. The drive doesn't bother me. A lot of people hate driving. They'd much rather fly. They can't be inconvenienced. It takes so much longer. Doesn't bother me.
Well, I'm going to be more comfortable in my brand new car thanks to Penske San Diego.
Hey,
yeah. Brown, did you say you drove for a living at one time?
Yeah, I used to drive for a living. So I know all the hazards on the road as being a former FedEx driver. I can guarantee you, city driving, I'll pass. I go where I got to go when I get out of my car. But long distance driving, I can knock that out, no problem.
Explain to me in the chronology of Browner, and then I'm going to get to this Chargers-Jaguars game. Explain to me in the chronology of Browner when you were a FedEx driver, because I've heard about Rapper. I've heard about
it was early.
Okay, basketball player.
He's brought up FedEx driver before.
That was after rapping.
Okay, I don't remember ever hearing about FedEx driving. Just give me the chronology. How old are you? Where are you?
I was in my mid. It was before I was working at KUSI, so probably 2012, 2013. Yeah.
How were you as a FedEx driver? Were you good?
Oh, I was bomb, dude. I loved it. I loved it. Other than I even liked Christmas. I loved it, man. I really did love it. The problem with it is that the pay isn't what you think it is, because I was contracted at FedEx. I didn't work directly for the company FedEx, so it wasn't unionized, and you had to negotiate your pay with a person who basically told you don't pay taxes. So he was a nice guy, but he wasn't the best business owner. But it's a great job. It's a really good job.
What does a FedEx driver make approximately, or a UPS driver? What kind of money those guys make?
Well,
or an Amazon driver?
Amazon drivers make nothing. If you work for FedEx, they legally make the contractors pay an X amount. So that's not that bad. If you work directly for UPS, you're solid. Unionized, hours are good. You have rights. You don't have
uni.
Yeah. You don't like some of these Amazon people, they have to purchase their own vehicle. Like you kind of own it when you're an Amazon driver, you kind of own what you're doing.
Really? So like when I see a Sprinter van that says Amazon on the side, the driver owns the vehicle?
Not those new ones that are like economically efficient. But if you see a guy pull up to your house in a not so well done white van and he's delivering your Amazon packages in an orange or a yellow vest, that person owns that van. They own that route. So you can own it. You can buy routes. And so if you buy the route, you basically own it. You're a small business owner. But your contract with Amazon, yikes, man.
Brown.
Yikes. They win.
I bought my son the other day. He moved at his college. He moved from the dorms to a house with his buddies, and he didn't have a bed or a frame for a bed, right? And so he's like, "Well, all I need is a mattress, and I'll just put it on the floor because I'm a dude and I can do that, right?"
Facts.
And I'm like, "Yeah, you could."
She will lay on it either way.
I'm like, you could just throw a mattress on the floor. I'm like, but let me get you a bed frame. It's $100 for the bed frame. And by the way they advertise it on Amazon is that the bed frame is lifted above the ground and there's a lot of space underneath. So you use the space underneath for storage, which you wouldn't have if you were just having the mattress on the floor. So I order on Amazon the bed frame and like one of these rolled up mattresses in a box, and it gets shipped to my son's place in West Virginia. And Browner, I couldn't help but think of the time you said, and I told this to my son, you should call Amazon, tell them the bed frame's broken, tell them the mattress is uncomfortable and you're sending it back. Tell them you're sending back both items and see what happens. Because according to Browner, Amazon won't want the items back.
Too heavy.
They'll say, keep it and we'll refund your money.
Because again, the worker lifting that, no. Amazon, no, we're good. You keep it. We got a bunch of them. You're good. Solid. We're a $1 trillion company. Keep it. Try it.
All right, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to tell him to give it a shot. All right, we're in the 7 Mile Casino studio, 7milecasino.com. All right, Alex, get us into the Chargers and the Jags because I want to talk about this story, and I also want to talk about the ongoing saga that Browner does not want to talk about, which is Sean McVay coming or going? And it seems like every day there's more to the story, which, by the way, there really isn't more to the story. It's just a perpetuation of the non-story, or at least of a non-decision. We'll get to it coming up. All right, Alex, what should we be looking at here first? We want to look at Brandon Staley, the always scowling Brandon Staley. Yeah.
Wow. Well, according to reports, the official injury report as of Tuesday was that Mike Williams did not participate, even though it was only a walkthrough yesterday. But all reports say that he will play on Saturday. Joey Bosa will be a full go on Saturday. And here is Brandon Staley scowling. Is that what he said?
Well, he's just got this. He's always kind of got this like look, like he's I don't know. He's always defending himself
seriously.
Yeah.
Here he is with the update.
Just going back to Mike for a second, is the expectation still that he'll practice at some point this week?
He's day-to-day. I think that you'll see him at practice at some point, yes.
Could he play in the game if he did not practice this week?
I think that's fair to say, but I mean, we expect him to practice at some point this week, and what capacity, that's to be determined.
And then just with Joey, you mentioned that he's going to be full. Is that just in relation to, coming off the surgery, or was there something that happened in the game?
Yeah, no, he just kind of like Justin last week, how you list a guy on a report, but they're full. That's just the nature of it. It's just he's going to be on the injury report with a groin, but he'll be full in practice tomorrow.
Okay, if you say so. I mean, I saw Joey Bosa on Sunday, be like, "Oh God, that hurts!" Right where I had surgery. Ow, that hurts. And I saw Mike Williams, like, "Oh no, my back again." Listen, I am the Charger hater. I am the founder. I am the president. I am the card-carrying member of the Charger Hater Club. But I don't root for guys to get hurt. Now, if Joey Bosa was too hurt to play, I'd be happy about that. Don't get me wrong. And if Mike Williams can't really give you what he can, because that dude he's just an amazing talent. If that dude can't give you 100%, I'd be fine about that too, because I want the Chargers to lose. I can't even decide if I want the Chargers to lose in this first game or if I'd rather them win, build up more hype, make the Charger fans, the few that there are, believe that there's something going on here, and then have Heartbreak City in Kansas City the next week.
Yeah, that's assuming that the Ravens and Dolphins don't win, which I think is unlikely.
Don't think the Ravens are winning against Cincinnati. Don't think the Dolphins are beating Buffalo in Buffalo.
It would
both
be,
teams with like second and third string quarterbacks.
I said this yesterday, and I will say it all week. I don't think Joey Bosa will be the difference of winning or losing. I think Mike Williams can be the difference between winning or losing, but I still fully expect the Chargers to win this game, and they'll make it difficult on themselves because they always do. But I don't think it's going to be a particularly close game. I just don't see it.
Why do we think that? I mean, the Jaguars came to LA. They convincingly beat the Chargers.
Because Justin Herbert had 5 broken ribs and was playing inexplicably that game.
Exactly.
That was the first
Thank
game
you.
that he came back where we were all like, what are they doing? And then they get murdered. And we're like, why are you playing this guy? He's clearly not healthy. I just don't trust, which is going to sound ridiculous. I don't trust the Chargers either, but I just don't trust the Jaguars yet at all.
Right. So it's a perception thing. It's the Chargers have, and listen, the Chargers are in the same class as the Jaguars.
No, the Chargers are better than the Jaguars.
No. But what I'm saying is that like when it comes to like historically, there was a stat that was on one of these broadcasts here recently about like teams that have been out of the playoffs for the longest or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And when you looked at these teams, you see the Chargers and the Jaguars and the Browns and the Jets, and you say the Chargers, that's the company that they keep. The Chargers, we all look at them and we all say, oh, look at the talent. We look at the roster and we're closer to, kind of following it. But the Jets, the Browns, the Jaguars, the Chargers, they're all kind of in that classification of team. And you would put the Cincinnati Bengals in that class a couple of years ago, but then they got a quarterback and then they got some star receivers and then they made it to the Super Bowl and almost won. And so, on one hand, you almost have to remember they're not the Bengals anymore. This is different. And the Jaguars now have a legitimate Super Bowl champion coach, and they have a first overall pick at quarterback who's only in his second year. So why we look at the Jaguars, like why we look down on Jacksonville while looking up at the Chargers makes like they're kind of in the same boat.
Because in this moment, the Chargers have a better roster, and the Chargers had a better season than Jacksonville did. The only thing stopped the Chargers from winning the division was some MVP named Patrick Mahomes. So outside of the division, the Chargers have had a better year than Jacksonville. They have a better outlook on their quarterback situation than Jacksonville. They have a better running back than Jacksonville. They have better wide receivers than Jacksonville. They have a better defense than Jacksonville. The only thing that is better in Jacksonville is the head coach.
Well, I mean, listen, if I were Jacksonville, the one thing I'd want to do in this game is do what I did in the last game, which is run the football and control the clock. Trevor Lawrence in the game, it was only week 3, but Trevor Lawrence was 28 of 39, 262 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and was never sacked one time in the game. And the Jaguars as a team rushed for 150 plus yards, and between their 2 running backs, 30 carries, 145 yards. If I'm the Jaguars, all I'm doing is running the football because I think you can run it against the Chargers.
Chargers also went 2-4 in their division, which was a terrible division. So they didn't do themselves any favors.
And listen, we look at their schedule and we kind of think of it as being sort of soft. And listen, they just barely got by the Chargers, Tennessee, and Jacksonville had to beat Tennessee when the pressure was on. What did Trevor Lawrence say? Let's go to his press conference.
Playoff time, baby.
I mean, that was a playoff game for us. So it's the same mindset this week. It's just official now. It's the first round of the playoffs. But I mean, for us, that was kind of like the first round of the playoffs because we knew we had to win to get in. So, I mean, I think that helps us kind of prepare for this week and the sense of urgency and, the whatever you want to call it, the hype around the game, all that, especially now that there's less than half the teams playing this weekend because the field just got whittled down.
Oh, my God. I just looked something up. I kind of want to take everything I said back. The Chargers are frauds.
Wait a second. You just said you're taking the Chargers. You think the Chargers are going to win this game. You don't trust the Jaguars yet.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever on-the-go research that you have just done, now you want to take everything you said about the Chargers back and you want to pick the Jaguars?
Yes, officially. Flip-flop. Flippy-floppy.
Flippy-floppy.
Flip-flop, flip-flop. Chargers. I'm going to read you all their wins. Tell me a trend at the end of it. Raiders.
Okay. All right. Hold on. I just want to make sure I'm clear on this because got about 30 seconds, but we're going to hit this break and then we'll
let's
come
do it
back
after.
to it.
Let's do it after.
Okay.
Because I really want to stretch this out here. I already see Browner's already mad. He doesn't even know what I'm going to say.
Well, Browner, he's a big Charger fan, Browner.
But you can't deny what I'm about to present you.
Okay. All right.
I'm not saying as a hater. I'm not saying as a detractor. I'm not saying as anything. I'm saying I'm going to read you a fact. You tell me what the common thread is about the fact I'm going to read you.
Okay. All right. So what's going to happen this weekend? Chargers on the road, Saturday, late window against Jacksonville. Jacksonville's home, will have a home field advantage. They do have a Super Bowl winning coach. They do have a young up-and-coming quarterback who's just a little bit younger than Justin Herbert. And Alex is about to present some information that is going to apparently make everybody who thinks that the Chargers are going to win realize the Chargers are going to lose. Let's find out what that is. Next, we're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. This is Kaplan and Crew.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Locally owned and operated, not some bland, uninspired, corporate, cookie-cutter radio station crap. We simply say to those stations, Q. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Drivers are getting in accidents at a rate we've never seen before, jumping 18% since 2020. There are higher incidents of speeding and more aggressive driving since the pandemic began. Please slow down and drive safely. It can save a life.
Hola, I'm J.R. Cardenas.
And I'm Vanessa Ramirez.
We're the hosts for Subida, where we showcase California restaurants, music,
art, culture, and so much more.
We would love to talk to you about featuring your business on our show.
Yes, and as an added bonus, you get to keep the professional video segment to repurpose and use on your website or social media channels.
Please click on the link below to get more information about how to put your business on Subida.
We hope to hear from you soon.
When you're in pain, you need physical therapy that works, but you want to feel safe during these times. At La Mesa Rehab, your health is our business. We screen each patient, provide masks, and constantly sanitize our private individual treatment areas so you can focus on healing. The foundation of our physical therapy is education. Our therapists care and guide you through the healing process. Ask your doctor about La Mesa Rehab.
The best care you can have at La Mesa Rehab.
Many are adding companion units, or ADUs, to bring more value to their homes. Our experience, plus our strong relationship with the city, makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
We listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com for your consultation.
If you're going to count yourself as a fan of this radio station, you'll need to continuously ask yourself one basic question. Am I listening enough? Pro tip, wives are not a good source for input on this. This is the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
Many are adding companion units, or ADUs, to bring more value to their homes. Our experience, plus our strong relationship with the city, makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
We listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com for your consultation.
At Shelter to Soldier, being a private nonprofit, we rely on the community. Thankfully, we have sponsors like the Barnes firm that get behind us.
We understand the difficulties that many of our veterans face when they come back into civilian life. And this program just seemed like the perfect fit.
Today we're catching up with Barney. He is now in our matching phase of our program. He is meeting eligible veterans in what we call speed dating.
How's it going?
So we have just recently approved 5 new veterans for our program. So Barney will be meeting every single one of them to see if he is the perfect match for them.
Barney's perfect date would be a nice long walk on the beach, and then he would like to end the night with a nice dinner with his veteran.
We got to find the right person for the right dog.
Hey, great friends, it's Scott Kaplan here, and I want you to come check out our new TV show. It's called Kaplan and Crew Tonight, every Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock right here. Now, look, it's the best of the radio show from earlier that day on the mightier 1090, and we've been doing it for 20 years, so now we're expanding the way we talk about sports and the way we can be heard and viewed.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight. Be a part of the crew. Weeknights from 7 to 8 p.m. on Your View.
Thank you for joining joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.